You're the new Blue Beetle.
My reputation precedes me.
Let's see if you live up to Dan Garrett's legacy.
Just another movie night.
Hello and welcome to the show. I am Scott.
And I'm Joe.
And we're just another movie night, and this is before and after reviews where we go see a brand new movie in the theater and talk about it. Before and after.
Before and after.
That's spoiler-free reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a little something. And tonight is one of those nights where I get to say, I like comic books. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I do. And I love DC Comics. And does that mean that I also love the movies?
No.
This is debatable, but I will say that we over-review all of them. How about that?
I don't know if I feel that way.
I think the last 3 we over-reviewed.
Really?
Yeah, that's the problem with coming out of a movie and then instantly giving your thoughts and your review. You need a day to marinate in that stuff, and we never do.
Well, it's supposed to be your initial reaction when you get out of the movies. So
exactly.
What did I overrate?
I would say probably Black Adam.
Oh, yeah, let me see. What did I give Black Adam? Did I give it a 6?
I felt like you went higher.
Uh-uh.
And I think I was lower. And I still think that it's probably a 5 because I can't even tell you if I remember it very
I gave it a 7.
I told you.
Wow, I think I had a good time with that one, though. What was the next one I gave, I overrated? Which one's the next one?
Well, I mean, some people might say that we over-reviewed.
Shazam?
Shazam 2 and also The Flash. I actually enjoyed both.
I gave Shazam a 7 as well. That was fun.
Yeah, I mean, Shazam, to me, Shazam and Flash are way better than Black Adam. Black Adam it's very mediocre. I mean, looking back at it, I think that I probably over-reviewed the hell out of that movie, but still.
What did I give The Flash? Because I actually didn't put it on IMDb. Did I give it a 7?
I would say we probably both gave it 7s.
Well, you know what? I stand by that, and I
actually enjoyed it.
I don't want to have to feel bad because I like that movie.
No, I agree.
And I feel like people are going to make me feel bad because I like that movie. It's like you're not supposed to because, the whole controversy and stuff, but
yeah,
I liked it.
A lot of the blockbuster movies that people have hated recently, we have given 7s.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, things that people, for some reason, just loathed. And I was like, you know what? We've seen way worse movies. That's our biggest problem is we're always, generous because we've seen shit that people won't watch.
Yeah.
And so even with, Ant-Man and the Quantumania, people hated it. No.
Why
it's
is
not
there
that
such
bad.
disdain for that film?
It was okay. It's fun.
There were some things wrong with it. It wasn't perfect. It was kind of goofy at times, but I had fun with that one too.
I feel like, it's so funny when people knock the thing that just came out, especially with Marvel. They're like, oh, Quantumania is the worst, right? And then Secret Invasion came out and was like, is it really this bad, guys?
No.
Secret Invasion wasn't good either.
It was not
everything
good.
Makes Quantumania look amazing.
Yeah.
To me, I don't know. That's just me.
I mean, I think if you're talking about Marvel shows, that one's definitely the bottom of the barrel, Secret Invasion. Yeah. I did not care much for that. I thought it was boring, dragged out, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not good.
It's hard when you review a show because each episode gets its own review, and at the end, you got to kind of put it together. Mm-hmm. So I think I gave that a 6, and I was still called out, saying that this is way worse than 6.
I'm going lower than that. I mean, I'm giving it a mediocre. I think it's a 5.
Yeah, I can see that. I gave it a little higher because there were episodes and things that I did enjoy, and there was characters and stuff. And that's the problem. No matter what, you're going to get called out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So regardless, I feel like no matter what we do, we're always going to review it a little higher than maybe a lot of people will. And that's the thing with comic book films. Also, we kind of enjoy the characters from comic books. You know, you can't help but get past that nostalgia, especially when the product pays love to it and tribute, where I will say that a lot of movies feel like they don't. We're also doing for next month, we're going to be doing Mortal Kombat, and now we're talking about that a lot in those episodes. So for the Talking Trash show we do, so I think that's something funny when you watch something and you know a lot about it, and the lore is kind of thrown out. You kind of automatically get that sour review. But when something is paying a lot of love and tribute to it, you feel like you're gonna automatically review it higher.
Yeah, see, with this one though, I think this has a couple of things going for it. I do like Zolo. He's in Cobra Kai, plays Miguel. I do like him. I think he's got some charm. And
I don't know how he's gonna transfer into like a feature film lead.
True.
That's because let's face facts, on Cobra Kai, the leads are,
I mean, yeah,
the main actors. It's like I as much as I like him in that show, I'm really interested to see him. But I think this is a fantastic pick for Blue Beetle.
Yeah, I think he's cute. I think that it's kind of, he matches this role, I think.
Yeah.
He's just, there's something about him. There really is. There's something about him. But I think that since I don't have any expectations for this, I do have a premonition.
Oh, I got tons to say about that. Yeah. Go ahead.
I feel like because this was put in my head by one of my coworkers,
I can't wait.
that this is going to be more like a Power Rangers movie, like kind of have the feel of the Power Rangers.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing in this particular situation.
I don't think so either, but I don't want it to borderline on silly, you know?
Oh, that's going to happen. Yeah,
I don't know.
And can I add my thought about when I saw this trailer for the first time? The automatic thought has been, oh, someone read Robert Rodriguez's dreams. Because that's how I looked at this trailer. I was like, oh my god, I cannot believe he didn't do this. Because it looks like Spy Kids and his Shark Boy and Lava Girl movie just smashed into a neon DC explosion, and I cannot believe he wasn't asked to do this film.
I mean, I love Rodriguez. You know, I love him, and so I was like, "Oh, that would be cool if he directed this." But
yeah, this is directed by a guy who's only done one other movie. His name is Angel Manuel Soto, and I think he's only done one other film, and I have not seen it, so I can't say anything about his directing style.
I mean, he looks like he did a couple things.
He's done a lot of shorts. He's
Yeah.
done one feature film that I can tell. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You know, they're handing these, which I like. I like when these comic book companies are handing these directors, especially these indie directors, these movies to do big budget, because they know how to film on a smaller budget, and they also know how to pull out more heart. I think that because a lot of the guys that were successful in Marvel were those kind of guys, like the Russo brothers and what's his Webb? I think that's who did the Spider-Man films, right? He did like Cop Car, and then they were like, "Oh, give him that," and he's been pretty successful. It wasn't Webb. Webb was the one Andrew Garfield ones, but yeah, these directors, who are very independent. It's a smart thing to see them bring out these kind of movies.
Well, I do agree with that, but on another level, it really comes down to the writer. And I think that we might have a problem here. Because looking at this resume.
I did not look at this. Who is it?
Okay. Well,
Just
his name is Gareth Dunet Alcocer. I don't know how to pronounce it. Yeah, he has done literally nothing else besides looks like some kind of maybe some Spanish films. I mean, nothing else.
This is probably a collaborator with the director. Maybe. I don't know. I'm guessing here.
I mean, nothing else. It doesn't look like he did any movies in America. This is it. This is it.
That's interesting. I mean, I can see what they're doing. They're definitely hiring people to make it a film like this is an all Spanish cast and crew. You know what I mean? Type of movie. And I get that, and I appreciate that. Especially with a character like this, because there aren't many DC characters. A lead film centered around
a Latino,
superhero.
Yeah, lead.
It's kind of a really neat. I'm sure there are many, but for DC Comics, it's also interesting being a DC nerd. This is like based on the Blue Beetle in this film is going to be the third Blue Beetle, the Jaime Raymond Reyes, Jesus, and I was wondering how they were going to tackle that. I was wondering if they're going to reference highly any of the past Blue Beetles or whatever. I think that the movie's going to take place at the second Blue Beetle, Ted Kord's industry type of building and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if he's going to be in it. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm kind of interested in that, but it's interesting to see people being handed the movie that might not necessarily be fans of the comics, and that's a problem to me. I think that's why I'm excited for James Gunn's reboot of everything, because I know he really loves it and enjoys it.
Yeah, I see that's a difference. It's where I feel like, okay, you have someone that loves this stuff and is familiar with this stuff, very familiar with this stuff, like James Gunn. But however, here you have two newcomers that are primarily brand new to even directing and writing.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie, I am pretty skeptical about this.
Oh, without a doubt.
And I feel like I don't want this movie to be the movie that makes me not ever want to watch a DC film again. Do
you think that'll happen?
I think I'm at the end with it. I really do.
Oh, so you're saying a divorce?
I mean,
we're getting a divorce right now? Is that what's happening on the air? An actual breakup on live air? Oh my! It's not live. It's not a breakup. It's not anything. But
I get to keep Chucky. I'm just saying.
That's a hard pass. I mean, like if you said tomorrow, if I said tomorrow we're not watching season 3 of Chucky.
Okay, get out of my house.
Exactly. So you're saying no more DC movies.
Okay, all right. You know that I'm just talking out of my ass.
Okay.
I'm just saying that I don't want this to upset me to the point where I'm just like, ugh. Because we watch the DC animated ones and they're good.
Yeah, I mean,
so
Blue Beetle, the way that they've tackled these characters and Blue Beetle on Young Justice, which I think a lot of people have not seen, and it's really, really sad. It is fantastic. That television show is amazing. And I don't know. Go see it. Go watch it. And if you don't know these characters, that's a great way to learn them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand. I understand what you're saying, and I think that this is going to be very wacky. I think it's going to be a little over the top with his family and everything like that.
The family is going to be over the top, yeah, because even in the trailer they give that away, And
yeah.
I mean, of course, it's only natural that it's gonna be crazy because like he's just a normal kid and he gets these powers and nobody knows how to take it, you know. So yeah, that's normal. It happened to Spider-Man. It happened to everyone else who gets these kind of powers and stuff. But I don't know. I just don't want this one to be the DC film that breaks me.
I will say this, okay? Seeing the trailer as a fan of the comics, and I'm not even that big of a fan of this particular character. I just know a lot about this character, but not enough. That being said, I enjoyed the character when I see him. Shocked to see him get his own film, because he's more usually team-based for me, knowing him. But that being said, they nailed the suit. I mean, they friggin' nailed it. It looks gorgeous on screen.
Oh, he looks great, yeah.
And I also absolutely love the color scheme on this film. The neons, the bright blues and purples. I'm a sucker for that, and I love the idea of that. And it looks like the whole movie's going to have that kind of feel and look, and it's like saturated in color. And I kind of dig that. I kind of dig that they're going to try to give each city in these superhero films their own life, which is very important for the comic books. And I kind of love that. So right there, that feels right to me. And I really want to see that kind of stuff. And I'm actually excited to see that kind of stuff. Also, we got to talk about Susan Sarandon's in this film.
Yeah, it's funny too, because I was like looking at the cast and I was like, wow, she's like one of the only Mexican or Brazilian actors in this movie.
I noticed that too, and I was kind of like, that's a little on the nose to have. She's probably the villain.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And I don't think she is the main villain. because I think they're going to do I don't know if they're going to do Black Beetle or whatever the hell it is. I don't know if they're going to do that, but they might. And Susan Sarandon was a little shocking because I haven't seen her in a movie in quite a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a minute for her.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you who she's playing or no?
No, I don't need to know any of
All right.
that.
Well,
I
I
don't
looked
like
that up,
spoilers.
so yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not going to spoil it for me because I have a good feeling about this villain. Anyway, if she is a villain, who knows? Maybe she's not. Maybe she's not a villain.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be quiet now.
Those are kind of my I'm kind of interested in that. I'm also I don't know. I think it really just comes down to my love of comic book characters, and especially the DC universe.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, this is what really sucks. We're gonna go see a late show because this movie is literally buried in the film slot. Let's face it, Barbie has already broke another record. So Barbie right now is keeping the film movie, like the theaters alive. I mean, it's insane, and unfortunately, Blue Beetle's dead on arrival. Let's just say that because there is an odd boycott of DC Comics right now in the movies, anyways, because of this Henry Cavill stuff, and people want to keep adding to it, like, oh, Amber Heard, Ezra Miller, I hate them, and that's happening over at Marvel too. So they have two actors also being hit for lawsuits and stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of bullshit, and I really hate it because a lot of people worked on this film, and they're getting hurt. You know?
I know. I feel bad for these actors and that have to go through this crap. But like honestly, one good thing we have going for this movie is that there's nobody that's like got a freaking lawsuit against them or any kind of harassment against them or
In
any
this
kind
movie?
of criminal. Yeah. So I mean, hopefully all of these actors are in
hope
good
that's
shape.
true.
But I always feel so like sad because like when I go to a DC movie in the theater, I'm always like, I look at you and I don't want you to come out of there with like such regret and sadness. I just want you to be happy.
Like we did on one of our first episodes of the show, was it Super Pets?
Oh God.
Where I was like, oh my God.
I forgot all about that movie.
Yeah, people enjoyed it. I did not.
But like, yeah, I always look over and I'm like, oh God, okay, is he enjoying himself? Did he laugh? Did he giggle? Because I don't want you to be let down. This is your, DC is your thing, and I just want you to be happy.
I'm gonna bet here that regardless, I'm probably gonna come out more enthusiastic than I should. And I think I'll probably come out with a 6.
Okay, I'm a little more skeptical. I think I'm gonna come out with a 5.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's
I'm
not.
skeptical only because of the first time director and the first time writer, and I'm not saying first time. They have done,
Yeah,
they've
done some work.
movies,
Yeah.
but not. It doesn't seem like any
Blockbuster
American
films, yeah.
blockbuster, and I don't know. I just feel more comfortable with DC having writers that have either worked in the comic book industry or know about the comic book industry, and I don't know how much this person knows about the comic book industry. I'm speculating. Of course, maybe he can be very well
Yeah, I haven't looked
versed
into him,
in it.
so I haven't looked at who it is. But yeah, I mean, I always wonder why they don't hire the writers of the comics.
I don't understand that either.
I mean,
never
it can't
understood
be
it.
that hard to transfer. I don't know why that's a thing, and it's always shocked me.
Yeah,
There's
I
some
don't
big
understand.
comic writers who always nail it, a lot of the time, anyways. And I just don't know why they're not being handed everything. I hope, I doubt it's true, but I would love if James Gunn was teaming up with some of these guys.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, if he had like just a little bit of like creative input, I think it would help.
Oh, he's writing. I think 2 of the movies he's writing himself, and he said that he's taken full, some certain books. He's pointed out, oh, this book is my guidebook to Superman.
Yeah.
And automatically, when I heard those books, I was like, yep, those are nailing it. So
Yeah, see, I'm still a little, I don't want James Gunn's new vision to be dead on arrival either.
It's
because
gonna be. And it's
I'm
so
worried
sad.
because people are such fuckers.
Yeah,
It's like,
I agree.
just get a hold of yourselves, okay? Henry Cavill, yeah, he was a great Superman. Move on, okay?
Yeah,
There have
just
been
move on.
others. Just move on.
I mean, it's so silly. I mean, it's like the same people did the same thing when Brandon Routh came along, and they
Yeah.
were like, "Oh, it's not Christopher Reeves. Fuck him."
Yeah.
and he was perfect for it. Like he
And
was a
that
great.
guy's career took a hit. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
took a huge hit, and it's not fair to
It's
these
not fair.
actors.
It's not fair. It's like, okay, just give James Gunn a chance, just stop with your bitching and whining. Stop being little bitches.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Henry Cavill looked great.
Oh, he
was
was
never
great.
given the script that he deserved. I agree with you. But that is not James Gunn's fault. That is not Blue Beetle's fault.
No, it's not.
So enough's enough.
I say the same. So let's go see this movie.
Yeah, let's hope for the. I'm gonna hope. I'm crossing my fingers.
I'll
here.
hope for the best. I think Zolo, he's so cute. I love him on Cobra Kai.
All
So,
right.
we have that going for us.
Which is nice. Let's go.
That thing calls itself the Blue Beetle. And it's dangerous. Is like a weapon of global destruction and is designed to protect its host of any threat.
I think I cut a bus in half.
How'd you do that?
It wasn't me. It was just a suit.
That love you feel for your family makes you weak.
You're wrong. My family, that's what makes me strong.
You satiated?
Situated.
All right, we're back, and we just saw Blue Beetle, and it's late, and we're sleepy, but we saw the movie. It didn't start for like a half an hour until it was supposed to, after it was supposed to.
Yeah. So we're
Because they got to put commercials there now.
yeah,
With the-
commercials
with the trailers.
trailers. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that whole Regal it's all happening thing is just getting really old and tired, and I want it to end. I want that to
Don't
end.
just put another one that's worse.
At least it'll be a different one.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we saw Blue Beetle, and I did not care for this movie.
I enjoyed it.
I did not care for this movie at all. The only thing I thought that was good about this was the suit. Otherwise, I thought this movie was terrible.
Wow.
I did not like it.
Wow,
It
I'm
was
shocked.
just one monstrous cliche. That's all it was, from start to finish. The villain was absolutely awful.
Oh, I disagree.
She was terrible.
Oh, wait, she. Okay.
She was
Yeah.
terrible. There was nothing diabolical or sinister or even it just did not resonate. A bad guy. It didn't, evil person. She was just an asshole, but I did not get vibes that she was a villain at all.
I don't know how that's possible. They nailed it like 80 times that I'm a bad guy.
Yeah, I get that, but it was overkill, and she did not
Yeah, no, it was very
she
under
did
boiled.
not
Yeah.
emanate what you would perceive a supervillain to be at all. I did not care for Susan Sarandon in this movie.
I mean, I would say it was the character. Yeah, the character was underdeveloped in a way.
Well,
that
the character, yeah.
I would say that they nailed it over and over and over that she was a serial killer.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I still don't think she gave off vibes that she was a supervillain at all.
I would say that it's probably because the movie is very preoccupied with another theme of like family stuff.
Yeah.
So that definitely pushes back that villain plot line.
Okay, I understand the need for the family stuff. I get that. But I think it was overkill. I think it was way overkill with the family stuff. Abuelita, come on now, enough already. It's like that whole ridiculousness with the grandma. I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it. So
I would say that every time. Here's my thought. I thought every time this thing did something bad, it did two things good.
okay, well, I didn't see things that way. I thought it was just one huge cliche, and I didn't care much for this movie at all. There was nothing about it. The only thing I will say though is that the sister, she was cute. She reminded me.
I thought she was a little over the top, so we're
That's-
completely different.
Yeah,
sides here.
completely different. Always. We really disagree on some of these kind of things, but I will say she kind of reminded me of what's her name from the Family Madrigal Encanto.
absolutely,
Encanto.
yeah.
She looks so cute. Anyway, I just didn't find this movie at all entertaining. Not at all. I didn't like it.
Well, this is a good conversation we're having. So, my thought is, I mean, look, you're just like dumping on it like instantly without even a like conversation about it. You just want to like crap on it. I would say that I think that's a little too far, but I mean, that's fine. But I would say that this movie, it's doing a family thing. It's doing something that superhero movies don't do. And I think that's the problem with superhero movies. I think that superhero movies follow a plot line that every one of these movies rinse and repeats. And I think that we've become so numb to it that people are just okay with it. But every Marvel movie and, and whatever DC movie, they do this thing where it's like, we're going to establish the villain. We're going to establish the hero. The hero beats the villain. End of the movie. And this movie's like, you know what? We're going to do a little bit of like, there's a family. We're going to have more of a bond kind of a build. Now, that might be cheesy and it might be a little too much, but it does have heart, and it does go out of its way to show what heroes of DC are like. This is a character who's like not wanting to kill. And, it makes sense that a normal human being is like, I don't want to kill people and trying to stop it. And I think that normally does not happen very much in DC movies these days, and Marvel movies too. Characters are just always knocking people off. And I really like the fact that a hero is a hero. And the movie's doing that, I think, pretty well. I kind of liked how they did that. I also especially liked how this movie uses one of the villains to get that across even more, when this is necessarily could just be the hero beats the villain, kills the villain off, and he's out of the movie, or he's put in jail. And it's usually never in jail anymore. It's always like dead. Here, they do something a little different, and the character actually does a hero thing at the end, and it works out. And I think that was really, really smart, and I thought that felt more of some of these comic books than most of these movies have been in a long time. I do think the suit was amazing, like you said. I actually think that he was pretty good. I think that he was just not in it enough because there was so much characters. Like, there were so many people kind of pushed in there.
That's the problem. This movie's called Blue Beetle. They made this so overwhelmingly more about his family.
Because that's who he is. It's his family.
I get it.
That's the center of it. That's you have to admit that that's unlike many comic book films. Usually the comic book films are like, this is a guy, he's brooding, and he's going through his own thing, and he's not going to deal with it. I think The Flash did this recently, too, where it was really about his mother and the loss of his mother and what she meant to him as a person, instead of just being like a damsel in distress that you have to save all the time. That's like your typical thing. The Flash in this tried to do a little bit something more about who these people are, and there's a movie around it. And I think that this movie did that. I do agree that I think that there is becoming this stereotype about Spanish movies being about family so heavily that it's become its own cliche now. And I understand that, but I didn't necessarily hate that. I think it was kind of fun. It was over the top. The jokes didn't land. I will say that a lot of the jokes did not land. I specifically did not like the sister. I thought she was, I'm the bratty sister. Every time they were like, there was a moment where they were supposed to like miss each other, I was like, that didn't connect. That doesn't feel right. It's like there's nothing really here. But I did think that his reactions to some of his family getting hurt were really well done. I think that there was like a lost part of this movie with like a loss of a person in your family. I thought they did that really good. I actually thought that felt well. I do agree with you 100% on Susan Sarandon was completely wasted here, and they could have developed her more, but I really wouldn't know where they could have fit more shit into this movie. Because it's going fast, but it's still doing a lot. I will say that there are some corny jokes that really wish they would have stepped back out and made it more dramatic. or more the stakes feel real, because every time you do a corny joke, you kind of break the stakes. And I think there's like a fart joke in here with whatever.
It was so childish.
It was stupid, but I do agree that it's trying to have fun. It's trying to do that. I'm gonna eat my, have my cake and eat it too type of thing. Where we're gonna try to appeal to kids, or we're gonna try to appeal to the fans of what, do all these things. I can see that that's a problem, but I didn't hate this movie. I've seen so much worse. I mean, especially like the '90s superhero movies, like some of the movies that we kind of like forget about that happened in these back in these days. This movie, if this was like a '90s superhero film, this would be loved, like without a doubt. Just because we've become so oversaturated with superhero films, we kind of like judge everything way heavier than we normally would. I feel like that's happening here.
Yeah, but I can't go by if this was a 1990s movie.
No,
I'm saying this is a 2023 movie, and it shouldn't be this goofy. It shouldn't. It was goofy.
I mean, it's either that it's too serious or it's too goofy. It's kind of like...
Well, here's the thing. There were some things that tried. There were some, they tried. They tried to be funny. They tried.
They were going back and
They
forth.
tried too hard. The character of Rudy, who was George... What's his name? George Lopez? Is it George Lopez?
I believe so.
Fucking terrible, okay? He was terrible.
I didn't hate him.
He did not make me laugh. He was forced as fuck. Everything that he said was forced. It was just, he was that character that's like, okay, everyone has a crazy uncle. All right, we get it. But it was just so in your face. And then Abuela at the end, she's Rambo. Come on.
I mean,
come on.
Those were the corny moments where they were trying very heavily to juggle that balance, and that definitely is where the movie stumbles. But I feel like there was definitely another side of the movie that did work.
I didn't get a chance to say what I thought my like the things that I liked about the movie.
I know, because you started really heavy on dumping on it.
Well, I started out with my initial reaction like we're supposed to. And so, just saying, I didn't get a chance to talk out my thoughts, but
Well, that's what we're here for.
well, I mean, sir,
You know what? You want to do a round one? Bing, bing. Come on, let's go.
I'm going to smack you. I'm telling you. So anyway,
I love you.
I don't know if you do.
Oh, too much.
But anyway, so, okay, the things I liked about it. I love the suit.
Looks so good.
I loved him as Blue Beetle.
I
thought
actually
he was
really
good.
enjoyed him. Yeah,
He was good. I like him. I like that actor. I think he's good. I like the family unit. The family unit together and how much they cared and loved each other.
Yeah.
I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
The whole family thing. The extra, girl, the extra character, I don't even know what her name was in this. Cord?
yes. Or is it Jennifer?
Jennifer Cord. Yeah. I was like, okay, she's whatever.
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
It was whatever. But the villain just took me out of this. And then there's another character who's also a villain in this. And I just thought it was cheese factor 11. And then, I feel like there could have been... I feel like we needed more Jaime Reyes. I feel like we needed more Blue Beetle. This movie surrounded everybody else except him.
I think that absolutely this movie was trying to do that. That's what I'm kind of impressed by, because a character, these movies always do the same thing where this character is like a brooding loner, and they have to figure out, or they've like lost their entire families and they're single, and they got to make their way and they fall into something. This movie is like, no, this character is about family. His entire being is about caring about people, especially his family, people that matter to him. That's what I kind of found refreshing. I like that aspect. Because, the characters aren't always the same brooding asshole. I like that specifically the reason that he is picked is more about how he is a caring person. And that's why I like that. That's why I like some of the DC characters more. Usually, people always ask me, why do you like DC more than Marvel or whatever? I like both. But what I like about DC the most is the characters feel like real human beings, not always going through like a dramatic thing, but trying to be just a good person. And that's like, I hate that idea that people are always like, oh, the heroes don't kill. No, why is that a thing that people believed? Like, not everybody's the Punisher.
Okay,
you know
well,
what I mean?
just to correct you, that he was going to kill the villain. But
In the
his
very
suit,
last minute.
his suit told him,
It-
we don't kill people, Jaime.
Because he told it before in the movie, and there's good reason why he's freaking out in the end, and that was the end message.
And I
Not
understand.
everything is as black and white. Not everything is like that thing, and that's what the movie was trying to make a message about, and that's why I like that villain twist at the end, where they showed you a little bit more about that. That shit does not happen in movies anymore. They don't show you that. No, there's actually layers to this bad guy. There's a reason this guy's doing this thing, and it's not always what you think. Not every villain is just like there to be fodder, like just to get killed, And that's what I really respected, because while they did that, Susan Sarandon, on the other hand, was just a villain. Was your typical villain, and I think that's why she kind of faded into the background. They wanted to get to that end message about
I
being
totally
a hero
understand
and
that.
looking at it in another way. And I was like, that's cool. Like, I enjoy that more.
I totally understand and appreciate the whole family unit thing, and that's one of the things I liked about the movie. I also liked the music that they chose for the movie. There was some good songs in there that they chose.
There was some fun stuff.
Yeah.
There was that. And you know what? For a first-time blockbuster director, not bad. Not a terrible directing job. Some of the CG look great. I actually think that the special effects here look better than Flash.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I mean,
Oh, the Flash look like shit. I mean, it's like there's things about the Flash that look great, and other things that look like garbage.
I mean,
Here,
okay. Here's the
didn't
thing:
find myself-
a lot of the special effects in the Flash were, they were trash.
Yeah, trash.
We said
That's what I'm
that,
saying.
but the special effects here didn't blow me away either. So.
But I didn't find myself once going, oh, look how jarring that special effect is. Not once did I do that. In the Flash, I was doing it almost every 5 minutes. Like, oh my god, that looks
Yeah.
ugly.
No, I know we were.
Here, the only thing I would say is that the movie is filmed in dark a lot of the time, and I think that they use the lighting, the neon lights in this movie, to kind of make it stand out in the dark, and it becomes a little muddled in fast motions. And there's a lot of Jaime like fighting in that. It's so quick with the Beetle like shifting into different weapons. I wish I could have seen it just a little bit better, because some of that stuff was really neat. Yeah, I didn't like. I mean, again, there's bad superhero films, and like doing your typical, like you said, cliche stuff. And I do agree that while certain things are becoming cliche, to see them transferred in a way where it was like a lighthearted, like little romp, instead of just being your typical superhero film. I think The Flash is the same thing. That's why I enjoy The Flash so much. It's not your typical movie. They're doing something a little bit different. There's an arc to the character of being this thing. When this character in this movie thinks that he loses people and he freaks out, it actually feels like it didn't happen or whatever. But just seeing that actor go through it, you believe him in that moment.
He was
And I
my favorite
like,
part.
This is actually pretty decent. I just wish that they would have stepped back and done a little more drama instead of going goofy. But I get why they were trying to do it. They're trying to add that heart to it. I just think, unfortunately, we're living in a day and age where now people are so cynical that they want more of that, like, grittiness. I think Disney's been doing that recently with their television shows. They're trying to make some of the characters a little lighthearted. It's not working because their universe is already gritty. Here, I get that maybe going forward they want to add a little bit heart, and a little bit of hope. And because you're going to do that, they're going to add a little bit of like cheesiness. And while I like think that might be an issue, because I think that people won't want to see that. I think there's a reason that fans were loving and defending Zack Snyder's films, and that's kind of worrisome to me, because those movies are so dark and so brooding. It's just, I don't think that those are those characters, and I think that's a shame. I think that this feels more of those characters, even when it's being a little too cheesy. it's still trying really hard to understand these characters a little bit better. I just wish that people wouldn't want more of that gritty, dark, or we're gods to be worshipped shit. I want like heroes again. I want like people to look up to and be like, holy shit, that's what a hero does. A hero goes out of its way to save people. It's always been my big issues. Like you don't see people ever saving people. And I think The Flash did that too recently, where he was just saving people. And I was like, God damn, you need more of this in the film. Well, meanwhile, Batman's killing all these people in the beginning of The Flash, like I kind of like, shit, get away from it. I think that's why I'm respecting this movie a little bit more. I do understand where you're coming from. It definitely is going to be its own cliche now with the family shit. Like you said, Encanto, right? What's the other Pixar film? Coco. Where it's like so heavy on the family aspect. I do think that's becoming its own cliche. And I'm fine with it in a way. But when it's just for laughs, like everybody's like, hey, we're all like, I don't know how to explain it. It does feel too corny for its own good. If they would have just stepped back, I think this would have been killer. But I found myself enjoying it way more than I thought I was going to. So,
okay.
No thoughts to any of it?
I mean, I can't agree with you. I feel like this movie was made for children who just don't want to think.
I think it is, though.
I mean, this movie was 100%. I think this movie was more made for children than Shazam was. I mean, Shazam was at least, they had some grown-up elements in this. Yes, it was kiddie because Billy Batson is a child.
Yeah.
But I feel like this movie should have been more than what it was. It was like, I just was thinking this whole time, I was like, okay, I get the family element. I get it. It's a show. It's like, it's beyond shoved down your throat. It's like beyond. Okay, like
yeah,
I don't.
agree with this.
I want to know what more motivation this villain had. I want to know what the hell her fucking problem was. I want to know what happened there to make her this diabolical.
Yeah, they gave her one line of dialogue to explain that.
Yippee!
And it's like,
gee, thanks. No,
kind of need a little bit more. But I wonder if they did this on purpose and they hired an actress that's bigger to kind of blend into the background to get to the ending where they go, hey, you know what, villains aren't always like this, or people aren't always just a villain because they're a villain. I was wondering about that. I was wondering the whole time, like, did they do this on purpose to completely blend? Because she isn't given anything.
No, she's not. And
she's just there to say villain shit.
Yeah, she's there to say villain shit. She's there as just a point of, like, a plot point that there is a villain that he's gonna have to face, because all heroes have to face the villain.
But he doesn't.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Nothing to do with her. That's why I was wondering if it was
her. This is more about his family. The way I see it is like, okay, there will eventually be a Blue Beetle in this movie called Blue Beetle.
Oh,
That's
wow.
the way I see it. We didn't see any of the action really until like the half hour. And I will say that the first half of this movie was okay. It was fine. But then the last half hour, I was like, okay, like it just gets so absurd.
Do you know what I'm saying though about how, like, I'm wondering if they tried to put like a big star in the forefront, saying that she's the villain, thinking that she's going to become the big bad in the end, but to kind of just say, oh, that was a misleading on purpose because they wanted to make a message more about a hero and what it is to be a hero and what it is to see people as more. That's what I was saying.
Yeah,
like,
I get what you're saying.
I wonder if they did, because she completely blends into the background. Like, she could have been any actress. It's just very odd. I want to know if they like did that purposely to get that more of a hammered in at the end. Like, oh, there's a difference here. I don't know. That's all I was asking.
I don't know. I feel like the writing on this was just it needed work. It needed some work.
Again, I wonder if, like, to me, this doesn't feel like a writing problem so much as maybe letting people go a little too overboard on set with the acting. Like, I'm wondering if they
that's
went,
a director
go
problem.
for it. Yeah. it might be a directing problem, or they were like, hey, let's make this more happy and more fun. So let's make everybody like crazy over the top caricatures of themselves. That's what I'm wondering. Like, because I don't think it was terribly directed. I didn't think the main script was so bad. I just think it was, damn, they did went too a little far trying to do certain things. I will also say that there are some cool DC comics, like little Easter eggs and love for the characters, and a lot of references and putting things in there. I was like, wow, that's interesting. That's weird. Man, I was kind of impressed with. So I mean, even on that, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool of them to do that. They didn't need to do some of the stupid shit, but I kind of dug that too. So
Okay, well,
it
I'm
feels
not
like
going
there's
to
a
try and
little-
turn you the other way, but after we're done with this podcast, I will tell you some plot holes that will make you go, oh yeah, and it'll make you think a little
Are we
bit.
talking about like characters like being able to do things instantly and stuff like that, or
No, not just that silliness. I'm talking about plot. So we'll talk about that later.
okay?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm grouchy.
I've never seen my wife so angry during a movie. I knew something was wrong. I was like, oh, she's pissed off. She hates this movie. So I think I was right in my guess here. So what are you giving it, a 4?
Okay. Well, I'm stuck because this movie is not the worst thing I've ever seen, and I've given really bad movies a 4.
Thank you.
I will go into the realm of mediocre because it was watchable. So I will say that it is what I said in the beginning I thought it would be, is a 5. Mediocre. I don't think that this movie is any better than a 5. It had a lot of freaking problems. A lot. I did not... I didn't come out smiling or loving it. I came out annoyed. And you can tell.
Oh yeah, I could tell the whole movie. I knew something was the matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is I mean, look, I do think that, like I said, I think that every time it did something wrong, and it did stuff wrong, I thought it stepped up and did something right over here, and it kept flipping a lot. So I'm gonna give it a 6. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I'm almost giving it a higher, but I'm like, I know it's not that good. But like I said, I've seen bad movies. I've seen mediocre movies that I'll forget. This is pretty cool. I actually want to see this actor and Blue Beetle again. Like, do I need his family? No. But I wouldn't mind seeing Jessica Cord and Jaime Ramos back in these films with other characters. I think that could be very neat. And I think he's actually pretty fun.
Let me correct you. It's Jaime Reyes.
What'd I say?
Ramus.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. Like Harold Ramis? I'm an idiot. You know that.
I'm just correcting you because it's my job. But anyway, if we do get another Blue Beetle movie, this movie does make $5.
It's not going to make any money.
Then we might get another Blue Beetle movie, and I would be willing to continue watching him because I really like him in this role. But we need to just establish that the family is the family, and let's move on from them. You know, I am done with Uncle Rudy. I'm sick of it.
Did I really say Ramis?
Yes, you did.
I don't think I did.
You did. You said Ramus.
Jaime Reyes.
Yes, it's my job to correct you.
Reyes.
Jaime Reyes.
I'm saying it.
You were not saying it right,
Are
sir.
you sure?
Sir, you said Ramus. I'm going to bed.
Are you mad? Do you love me? Because I love you.
I fucking love you. I'm just enraged. I hated this whole experience at this movie.
Wow. All right.
I was just bummed, you know? Like, I wanted to have fun.
You didn't even have fun?
No.
Oh my God.
I mean, I had some feels, you know,
I enjoyed it.
the whole family, you know, because we come from really big families, and I kind of had those feels about the family.
I actually thought that the Jessica and Jaime like have a little chemistry, even when it wasn't even established enough.
Okay, that's the thing. We could not be more opposite because I did not feel that at all. At all.
I felt like they did have chemistry. Like, I felt like when they go back to her house in this movie, there was like a little bit of a connection here that I was like, oh, you know, it kind of, there's like a weird spark here. I don't know if it's the actor and the actress actually just clicked. It felt like they had some kind of chemistry, but without even being established enough, this movie definitely does not establish it enough. A lot of things enough. It's got a lot of shit to run through real quick.
Yeah, that's my problem.
Yeah. All right. You know what? We're gonna click off of this. We're gonna have a fist fight.
I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna take your ass out in the parking lot.
I don't know what I'm gonna tell people tomorrow at work. I'm gonna say, my black eye. My wife is mad that I like.
I
Blue
would
Beetle.
never mess up your pretty face. You know, I'd fuck up your gut.
Very easy. My gut? That's you actually might hurt your hand on my gut. All right, everyone. Have a good one.
Uh-oh, it's Bug Boy.
You're gonna need more than corny jokes.
Maybe a rolled up newspaper.